Welcome to AlphaCars and Motorcycles. Today, we're taking a detailed look at this gorgeous 2014 Porsche Boxster. Some highlights include only having 65,000 miles. It's a one-owner vehicle, clean Carfax, no accidents, all original paint, as well as a transparent and meticulous service history. The vehicle is from South Carolina, so there is no corrosion on this Boxster whatsoever. We will take a close look at even the underbody when we put this up on our lift later in the video. We do arrange transportation, so keep in mind if you are interested in this vehicle, it is for sale at the date of this video posting here at AlphaCars, and we can arrange those transportation options, even if you're not local, but you'd still like the chance to own this gorgeous Boxster. If you're new to the channel, welcome to AlphaCars. We share exciting motoring content on things like this Porsche, so definitely subscribe so you don't miss out. But now, let's take a closer look at this 981 Boxster. Let's start out by talking about this Boxster just for a couple minutes here. This is the 981 generation. A lot of people know this as really the best generation of Boxster when it comes to what you get for the money and the reliability. This being the base model has the 2.7 liter flat six, 265 horsepower. It sounds amazing, and the power delivery is very exciting as well. If you are familiar with the whole Porsche IMS bearing conversation, well, you don't have to worry about that with this generation, because this is when they did away with the IMS bearing. I believe after 2009 is when they went to the newer generation of the flat sixes. So as far as reliability and ease of maintenance, this generation is really the best for that. But then you also still have that legendary flat six experience. You're maybe not getting into a newer generation that's going to be a higher cost entry point, and then also having the turbocharged 4 cylinders that I believe most of these have now, if you were to buy, like I said, the newer generation. So these cars are very appealing to me personally. I shopped these and the Caymans for a good while, and I didn't end up with one, but I'm sure I will someday. There's just so much these cars have to offer. And like I said, the moment you get in, you fire up that flat six, and you don't have the IMS bearing worry in the back of your head. It's really quite the experience. This car does have a lot of factory options, including the PDK transmission there. This actually has over $11,000 in factory options. Other options include the convenience package, the infotainment package, and these gorgeous Boxster S alloys. These are staggered. The fronts are a 19x8, and the rear is a 19x9.5. These wheels are really immaculate, and we'll take a closer look just in a few minutes here when we go over the exterior condition. But first, I just want to talk about the car and just kind of all get excited about it. You may already know all this, or you may be learning something. Either way, I hope you enjoy taking a close look at this Porsche with me. Now, let's do just that. Let's start looking at the overall condition. So I do apologize for any unfavorable lighting. We do have a sunny day with clouds going by here in New England, so there might be some shadows here and there, and I will comment on that. But overall, the exterior, it presents almost like a new vehicle. This is all original paint, confirmed with our paint meter gauge. You can view the paint thickness readings on our online listing, among a lot of other things as well, including all the packages on this car and options, everything broken down for you there. The headlights are in really, really nice shape. We did do a light polish on them and apply a paint protection film. I don't want to say it's common, but a lot of these cars, the headlights will start to show their age. In the more recent couple of years, we've seen a lot of this generation come into our shop with the headlights, like I said, showing their age a little bit. So we like to go above and beyond here. We gave these a light polish, put paint protection film on them, now preserving them for many years to come, not having to worry about that. We can see the front bumper has no license plate, has not been drilled for a license plate. In my book, that's a big bonus, because even in a state where you need a front plate, there's still other options to not drill the front bumper. I think that, doesn't make the car look as nice, and it just kind of pains me to think about that. But this car has not had that done. This car is actually from South Carolina. There's no corrosion or rust on this car really anywhere. We will take a look underneath. All the alignment, bolts, eccentric bolts, things of that nature that usually New England rust pretty quick and freeze up, they are clean. You can look between every single thread of the bolt on this car. It's quite amazing. You're going to want to see that later in this video. Of course, there is a little bit of pollen today in New England. If you see any dust looking things on the paint, it's just because a little bit of pollen has blown on the car. But let's continue to go around the outside now. You can see the wheels. The front and rear brakes are both at 80% material remaining, just in the last, I believe, just few years, as the car also hasn't been driven a whole lot throughout its life, just driven periodically with that low mileage. But what was I saying? Yeah, the brakes, were done pretty recently in the car's life. You can see those classic Porsche drilled rotors there. The calipers are nice and clean, and the wheel is just nice and clean. No imperfections to speak of. Looking down the side of the vehicle, there's really no imperfections to speak of. Same thing with this front wheel. Rotor is nice and clean. No corrosion anywhere there. Let's move around to this side. This wheel is looking great. Even on the sort of front bumper, on all the edges, there's no scuffs or anything on the outside there. Of course, this is a decently low vehicle, so you just have to be careful about that when you drive it. In this rear wheel now, I don't see any curb rash or imperfections to speak of. And looking down the side of the vehicle, it's really like a mirror. It looks awesome. There are a couple, we can see there, you can see how the light reflects differently right there. There is the lightest little cosmetic blemish right there. The paint is unaffected. We do have this car scheduled for our PDR, which is paintless dent repair, our PDR technician, to go around the vehicle. There's just a couple spots that needed a little bit of love, like this spot. So he can get that back to like it was never there, but it is here for the video and we're not here to hide anything. So I just wanted to mention that. The other tiny little imperfection is right here. I'm not sure if the camera can even show it, but once again, our PDR technician is going to take care of that. The paint is perfect, not affected. He's just going to sort of flatten out the sheet metal there. But looking at the rest of the rear lid, it all looks great. The rear bumper looks great. Let me zoom the camera out a little bit here. We can get a better view. Exhaust center exit's very clean. The plastic's in a really nice shape as well. We can see the plastic valance there. And I will, when we look at the interior of the car, I will put the top up and we can inspect that condition. We're gonna really look at everywhere in this car, but even these plastic pieces and everything fits properly, and all of the rubber gaskets and everything look great. And we can see the door cards aren't lifting or anything. That's one of the only things that's sort of common on this generation to look out for, is the door cards. This material will start to get a little wavy and just kind of lift up. I believe, if my knowledge is correct, it was the adhesive Porsche used. Over time, it just kind of releases. And actually, when these cars were new in warranty, and this was happening, it was actually covered under Porsche warranty. They had like a service bulletin or something on it. But now, obviously, these cars are out of warranty, but that's not too bad of a repair just to resecure that. But my point is here, we are very familiar with these cars. We know what to look for, and this car is not exhibiting any of that here at this time. Even looking at these big intakes on the side, the sort of plastic trim in there looks great. Same thing with the front bumper. I can tell this car must have been garaged throughout its life, as all the plastic, everything that maybe would show some age being in the sun for a long time, it really doesn't. The car looks quite amazing. So we have a nice view of the interior here, but now I'm gonna move the car to the shade and we can take a look at the interior. In the front and rear trunk, this car kind of has two storage spaces to offer. So we'll take a look at both without any of the shadows and any of the sun glare on the camera. But now just showing you one last look at this gorgeous color, the hood, the glass condition, the condition of the cowl panel in here. It all just presents so very nicely. So like I said, let's move to a shady location and then take a look at the interior, the top condition, and the rest of the vehicle. So what I ended up doing was getting out of the sun and the heat by pulling the Boxster inside one of our climate-controlled showrooms. Of course, there are always some exciting vehicles in here. We've got a Mercedes G-Class. This is an 840, BMW 840, and there's an E39 M5 just to the side of the Boxster there. But now let's continue our tour of the Boxster in its really nice condition. Let's open the door and first check out the cargo spaces. So we have one in the front and in the rear of the Boxster. These are actually very practical vehicles, even though it is a Roadster, because it is mid-engine. So in the front here, there's no engine, there's no dipstick, nothing to check really mechanically. You do have your brake fluid is still up here, and then your washer fluid is just over there. Once again, the cowl panel there, it's all just in such nice condition. Nice deep trunk in here, and it is sealed away from the elements with this nice gasket. We've got a little storage pouch here. It looks like the front plate bracket is right there in case that is needed, so that's nice. And once again, this is really deep. It goes past sort of my elbow, and I've got decently long arms. So lots of space there. Looking at the underside, front edge of the hood, I don't see any rock chips or anything. It all just presents wonderfully. So now let's shut this, carefully close that, and work our way to the back. So let's open up the rear lid here, and it presents really, really nice. We have the factory mats, which I'll lay out right here for us to take a look at. There's the passenger mat, which is in very nice shape. And here's the driver's mat, which is also in really nice shape. Some light wear right here from the driver's heel, to be expected with a cloth mat. And if that's 60,000 miles or 65,000 miles of use, then I wonder what the rest of the car looks at. That is some very light wear on that cloth mat. So the previous owner of this car, they really were gentle with it, really knew how to care for it. And now looking at the underside of the lid, we can see all the gaskets here. Everything presents wonderfully. And we have our oil access here to add oil. This car, you check the oil level electronically through the screen in the car, or the gauges, and then we have the coolant access there. Once again, if you needed to maybe add some coolant to the car. Nice little light here, and once again, some really good trunk space. That's where these cars, it's really sort of a party piece. I just put those back in there very carefully. Also leaving them better than I found, I think. They were kind of thrown in there before, honestly, but now they're nice and flat. So, like I said, really a party piece of these cars with all the storage space you get. You can go to the grocery store or whatever and load the front and back. And I personally have a BMW Z4, and that's a front engine vehicle. Has a normal trunk, but of course it's a soft top, so you do lose some space there. But this has vastly more room than just the trunk of my Z4, which is a competitor to these cars. So taking a look, let's open the passenger door here and start from here. This car having a light interior, it does, in my opinion, require maybe some special, not special care, but extra care to keep it nice, because scuffing it up, spilling things in here, the light interior is really going to show all that pretty clearly. I love these flip-out pockets on this generation. It's such a satisfying thing to use, and it's kind of a hidden storage space as well. So you can see the switch here. It all looks really clean, nothing worn away or anything. Even in the door jambs, all that presents wonderfully. The seat condition is really nice. Doesn't really look like this passenger seat had a whole lot of use, to be honest. There's not a single piece of wear or wrinkle or anything. It is really, really quite amazing. And the back of it too. Let me get you a good angle here. And let's look at the driver's seat from here as well. We can see maybe a couple little wear marks in the leather, maybe a couple little wrinkles, nothing to be concerned with really, just from normal use of a driver being there. But we can tell by the bolsters and everything that they did take special care with getting in and out to not crush the bolsters, as we'll commonly see on sports cars. The bolsters can be damaged very quickly and very easily if people get in and out of the car without thinking about that. So this car, they definitely cared for those items. We can see it looks really nice. We have a storage cubby here, perfect for a mobile phone. There's also a little charger port in there as well, and you can see this just pops up straight very nicely. Little storage here, all the buttons and everything on the center console. Once again, I don't see any wear or anything to speak of. The screen, especially right now where it's off and you can see the reflection, there's really not a single scratch or imperfection on the screen at all. It looks very, very nice. I love the flip out cup holders on these cars, and I will say they work really good on this one. They have some different adjustability, and all the functions, I tested them a few times because that's something you want to check on these cars. Once again, if someone isn't really super careful with these, you can maybe cause some damage, but all of that works as designed on this car. Opening the the glove box, that has a nice soft open feature, and you can see there's some media input in the outlet, and just a decent sized glove box in general. I love these little storage pockets right here, especially when manufacturers have the outlet right above it, just to put your phone in here and have it charging, or a passenger can do that. This net is also great for like having a water bottle or something to store that and keep it from moving around. So my personal car has the same sort of net right there, and I use it every time I drive. I didn't realize I would until I had one. I didn't think about it. So I will give you my experience with that. All the carpet in the car, if we take a look here, and of course you can see under our protective plastic, it's really immaculate. Even let's look in the crack here and behind the seat. The carpet material, of course our detailer does a great job. He did some nice striping there. It really presents, as new. And I don't want to use that term a lot. I don't want to overuse that term, but this car presents very close to that. Looking at the dash condition, it all looks great. All the vents and everything, nothing broken there or out of the ordinary. Now let's move to the driver's side and give it the same sort of inspection here. The sort of armrest area, I don't see a single piece of wear or anything to worry about. We have the flip out pocket here, which works very nice. We have the door pull and all the switches here. There's no wear on those. Maybe the lightest amount of wear just right here, but that's really being picky. And of course we're very picky here. But the door jambs, it all presents really, really nice. Got a factory sticker here. We can see that with the VIN and the tire pressure information there. And once again, even up here, the door jamb presents really nicely. Down here, everything's perfectly clean. Even looking at the side of the carpet over here might pick up some, stuff, especially if a vehicle is driven in inclement weather. The wet shoes will get the carpet all wet, even if you have mats, but it doesn't look like to be the case here. I don't see any abnormal wear or staining or anything that, like I said, you might find on another different vehicle. Looking at the seat condition, all presents wonderfully. The carpet behind it presents wonderfully. And looking at the steering wheel, nice bright color, and I don't see any wear on this steering wheel. It has these cool kind of paddle shifters that move forward and back. You can actually click them from behind, if we see that, and then you click forward there. Pretty cool design on this era of Porsche. I'm just giving you a nice close look at the steering wheel. And we see the gauges there, 65,351 miles. Little Boxster emblem there on the right. Now I'm gonna take a seat in the car. We'll shut the door. I'm not gonna start it just yet because we're inside. And our light switcher on the left with that bespoke left side Porsche ignition. And checking out above our windshield. All of the sun visors, everything works great. And even have garage door programmability right here. And I love the kind of soft LED lighting in these vehicles as well. And we've just moved outside, just like that. So now, let's put a foot on the brake. We can hear that glorious flat six roar into life. Runs so smooth. We can see already there's some nice telemetry on the right side. Sorry, the camera is focused on the steering wheel there. And now looking at the climate control, we can see all of our functions on the seat. They work great. I love these ventilated seats, especially on a hot day like this. It really makes all the difference. And we have our temp control. We can even take individual control. If we turn off the sync, we can see the passenger can take their individual control there, and then we can sync them back up if we want to. So that's all pretty sweet. Go back to auto there. And we can even have AC max. There's AC off if we just don't want the compressor running. So all sorts of different options here where we can select what we need. I love that all these are analog buttons. I know the shifter kind of gets in the way, so I can put it back there. We can see a better view. That's why I love this generation. It's very simple to use, but it's all analog buttons. There's no screens to mess around with. There's just a little digital readout. And I think, that all looks great. And if we go to car here, once again, there's even more kind of telemetry and stuff we can view here. It's all really, really cool, all the stuff Porsche incorporates. And of course, there's many more features and options that I'm sure I'm missing. I know I'm missing, but this is more of a condition overview, but just showing you generally the standout features of the vehicle. Now let's put the top up. So we have the two buttons here. So we're gonna do that. And now the windows are going up. And that's all there is to it. Let's flip these down. Let the camera adjust in the inside of the top. The condition is excellent. There's no tears or anything like that. There's nothing, maybe hanging down. And now let's take a look at the exterior condition of the top. And it's also very nice, very presentable. So we have just some little kind of fold marks. No matter what kind of cloth top you have, it's gonna have fold marks in it, no matter what manufacturer. It's just how it is with having it folded and stored. This is really a premium vehicle, premium top. So we've got the full glass insert here. So you have perfect visibility out of the back, and it is heated. We can see the heating lines there. And now there is a bit of sun on this side of the car. We're running out of shade on this side of the building. But I will show there is this one imperfection in the top. It does not leak. It's not like all the way through or anything. But that is, of course, unfortunate, but it's purely cosmetic. Like I said, we leak tested it. There's no leaks or anything. And really, if you're just having the top up to protect the vehicle when you leave it unattended, when you're out on a nice day, or a lot of people, honestly, they have the tops down for long periods of time because they keep it in the garage. They don't even need to put it back up. They just take it out on a nice day. So like I said, just wanted to show that. Of course, we are full disclosure, nothing to hide. Let's listen to the engine idle for 1 second. Of course, there's no real engine bay unless we wanted to take the vehicle apart to show you the top of the engine. But with the meticulous service this vehicle has had, it's really in tip-top shape. So a little bit about the service history now, I guess, while we just kind of admire the interior for 1 second. This car was dealer serviced through the original selling Porsche dealer up until around 35,000 miles. And then after that, the owner decided to use a Porsche specialty shop. And I actually looked up this shop that they started to use, and they are full of good reviews. They specialize in the Audi, Volkswagen, Porsche vehicles, which of course are all under the same ownership of Volkswagen. And a lot of the design and parts they use kind of interchange. There's a lot of interchange of knowledge there. But it's a specialty shop. They use that shop for the remainder of their ownership with the car. And then we acquired it, after that. So especially when we had this up in our garage, in our lift, in our shop, there was not one thing out of place underneath this car. You could tell whoever had maintained it in the past knew exactly what they were doing. It wasn't like a learning experience or anything like that. And I did just want to comment on that. It was very impressive to us, and it all made sense when we looked into the history a bit more. It's just such a well cared for car. Now I guess what we'll do is deploy the spoiler, so we can take a look at that, showing you that works. And I'm going to put the top back down. And that's all there is to it. The top is so fast and quiet on this car. It's really quite amazing. And now we have the spoiler there. Nice and clean under there. It all works properly. Just wanted to show that. And now the next time you see this car, it's going to be up in our garage bay, actually just forward of the car in that bay right there. And Dimitri is going to look over the underbody and give a few comments on what you'll see under there.
Welcome to AlphaCars Service Center. Today we are checking out on our shop lift. We have a 2014 Porsche Boxster, and this is a Southern car and it's in great condition. Let's check it out. So if we look at the power plant, we're looking at the transaxle, and the engine is right here. Everything is in absolutely impeccable condition. And when we say there is not a speckle of wetness, this would be a vehicle like it. It literally does not have a speckle of wetness of any fluid, oil or coolant or anything at all. Look at the condition of everything. It's absolutely fantastic. The condition of the suspension, wheels, Michelin tires in the rear. On the way out in the front, they have a little bit more tread material left, but the car drives nice and smooth at any speeds, whether it's a highway or low speed. It just does very, very well. And here's the front end. Looks also very nice. The brake rotors are in excellent condition. Plenty of brake pad material, front and back. Definitely check out the listing for very specific measurements of the tires and brakes on this outstanding Boxster, 2014 Boxster. Great year, by the way.
So now that the underbody inspection has been done, I'm gonna jump in and just take the vehicle around the building. We can see the little one there that we're in first gear. The PDK transmission in these vehicles are quite amazing, giving you instantaneous shifts. This is a 7-speed PDK. Right into second there. We can see our compass sort of spinning away right there. There's a 911 there we have in service. Nice yellow on that one. I'll give it a little bit of gas. Just very smooth acceleration. And now pulling back in front of the AlphaCars sign. Of course, the seatbelt thing was not happy with me there, even though I was just going around the parking lot. So now that we've just done that sort of mini little road test, I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something new about the Boxster, at least got more familiar with it. If you are interested in this car, I hope you learned every little thing about it and every little maybe imperfection to know about, and just really was able to appreciate how nice of a car this is and how well it's been cared for. If you are interested but you're not local, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, we have many shipping partners. We can handle the transportation for you, so don't worry about that. We make the buying experience really an enjoyable one, which is a hard thing to find nowadays, unfortunately. So this has been Ian reporting from our Boxborough showroom. Please leave a like on this video and subscribe, so then you don't miss out on future motoring content.